Take one chicken, just one. Cook it 7 different ways, and you don't get 7 versions of the same dinner. You get 7 completely different foods. A crackling roast, a golden fried crust, silk-soft poached meat you could cut with a spoon. Same bird, same recipe, because there is no recipe. And here's the payoff up front. The single biggest difference between a home cook and a professional chef is not knife skills, not fancy ingredients, and not talent. It's that the chef stopped following recipes and started controlling heat. Tonight, the secret behind why browned food tastes better. A discovery made by a doctor who wasn't even studying food. And stay to the end, because I'm going to show you the technique behind some of the most expensive plates in the world. And it is, I promise you, a plastic bag in warm water. This is Culinary Origins. We start with the only recipe that matters: heat. Before the wheel, before writing, before farming, there was cooking. Somewhere between 1 and 2 million years ago, a human ancestor dropped meat into a fire, and everything changed. Cooked food surrenders its calories easily, and some scientists argue that surplus energy is what paid for the biggest upgrade in history: our brains. As the theory goes, and it is a theory, a famous one, we didn't invent cooking. Cooking invented us. And it didn't stop at biology. The fire is where we invented eating together. The hearth, the table, the family meal, the very idea of a kitchen. Civilization, one could argue, is just what people do between dinners. And every kitchen on Earth tonight, a Michelin 3-star, a tailgate grill in a parking lot, your own stovetop, is still doing exactly what that first fire did: applying heat to food on purpose. The only thing that's changed in 1 million years is control. Now the mid-episode payoff I promised. Why does browned food taste better? Why does a seared steak beat a boiled one every single time? In 1912, a French physician named Louis-Camille Maillard was studying how the body builds proteins. He was after medicine, not dinner. But the reaction he described, sugars and amino acids colliding under heat, cascading into hundreds of brand new flavor compounds, turned out to be the single most delicious accident in chemistry. It's why bread has a crust, why coffee is roasted, why your steak sears, your onions caramelize into candy, your marshmallow toasts. One reaction, hundreds of flavors. And it doesn't even begin until around 300 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why the wet, gray, boiled version of anything tastes like a punishment. Browning is not burning. Browning is flavor being born. And once you know that, every method tonight makes sense. They are all just different ways of asking one question: how do I get the Maillard reaction without drying my food into leather? Every method humans have ever invented falls into 2 categories. Dry heat: searing, roasting, grilling, frying. Hot, fast, aggressive, the browning family. And moist heat: braising, steaming, poaching, gentle, patient, transformative. 2 categories, 7 methods, 1 chicken. Let's cook it 7 times. Method 1, the sear. A pan screaming hot, a film of fat and pressure. The mistake every home cook makes? A crowded, timid pan. Crowd the pan and the temperature crashes, the juices flood out, and your chicken steams in its own regret. Gray, not gold. The professional move is almost insultingly simple. Fewer pieces, more heat, and patience. Don't touch it. Don't flip it early. Let the crust release itself when it's ready. Searing doesn't seal in juices. That's a myth, and chefs have known it for decades. What it does is better. It builds flavor you can hear. Method 2, the roast. The sear's patient older sibling. Dry oven heat, all sides at once, low and slow enough to cook the center before the outside burns. This is the oldest set it and forget it in history. Medieval kitchens built entire mechanical spit-turning machines, some powered by dogs running in wheels, just to roast evenly. That's real. Look it up. Actually, don't. I'll tell you. They were called Turnspit dogs, and they were bred for it. Method 3. The grill. Roasting's outdoor cousin, where the flavor isn't just Maillard, it's smoke and dripping fat igniting into flavor you cannot fake indoors. Which is exactly why the debate we need to settle in the comments tonight, cast iron or charcoal for a steak, has no peaceful resolution. Pick your side. I'll be reading. Method 4. Frying. And the crispiest lie in cooking, because frying is not a fat method, it's a water method. That violent bubbling when food hits hot oil, that's not oil boiling. Oil at frying temperature is far past water's boiling point. Those bubbles are the water inside your food, escaping as steam. Frying is a controlled explosion. The surface dehydrates into a crisp Maillard shell, while the inside steams in its own moisture. Golden outside, juicy inside. One method, both heat families at once. That's why humanity independently invented it everywhere, from tempura to fried chicken to falafel. Nobody could resist the physics. Now the water family, and its king, braising. Sear it first, then let it collapse for hours in a covered pot with liquid, low and slow. This is the miracle method, the one that takes the cheapest, toughest cuts on the animal and turns them into the most luxurious food you will ever eat. Coq au vin, pot roast, barbacoa. Every culture's grandmother independently discovered the same secret. Tough meat is tough because of collagen, and collagen doesn't fight heat, it surrenders to time. Around 160, 180 degrees, held for hours, it melts into gelatin, which is why braised meat doesn't just taste rich, it feels rich. The poor man's cut becomes the rich man's plate. Braising is the most democratic magic in cooking. If tonight's episode has fed you anything so far, this is the moment. Hit like. It genuinely tells the algorithm to show food history to more people who'd love it. Methods 6 and 7. The gentle arts. Steaming. Food never touches the water, just the vapor, nothing washed away, which is why dim sum houses built an entire cuisine on bamboo towers of it. And poaching, the quietest method in the kitchen. Water held below a simmer, barely moving, and the food emerges softer than it has any right to be. No crust, no browning, no drama, and that's the point. When a French chef wants to show off, they don't sear. Anyone can sear. They poach an egg, because gentle is harder than hot. Control, remember, is the whole story. Which brings us to the ending I promised. There is a technique behind some of the most expensive tasting menus on earth. Steaks cooked edge to edge perfect. Eggs like custard. Impossible textures. Restaurants gave it a beautiful French name, Sous Vide, under vacuum. Here is what it actually is. Food, sealed in a plastic bag, held in warm water at an exact temperature for a long time. That's it. That's the technique. A bag in water. It is poaching, the humblest, oldest, gentlest method in this entire episode, upgraded with one modern superpower: perfect control of temperature. And that is the whole story of cooking in a single image. 1,000,000 years ago, we had fire and hope. Today, we hold heat steady to 1/10 of a degree. The methods never changed. The control did. Master the heat, and you will never need a recipe again. And if that phrase, control, not talent, sounds familiar, it should. It's the same discipline Escoffier drilled into the first modern kitchen. The same reason the brigade system runs on, "Yes, chef." Every episode of this channel is secretly about the same thing. Somebody, somewhere, deciding that chaos was optional. So, 7 methods, 1 chicken, 0 recipes. And before anything else, I'm giving away an exclusive Culinary Origins cookbook, completely free. No purchase, no tricks. Just drop a comment below and I'll pin the link for everyone. If this fed you, subscribe. Culinary Origins is built on stories like this, and there's a new episode every Friday. Now, which method do you actually want the full deep dive on? The frying episode, the braising episode, the fire history episode? You vote, I build it. And one last thing, the war. Cast iron or charcoal? for a steak. Defend your side like your dinner depends on it, because down there, it does. See you in the next one.